Hello and welcome to this video series on Drupal. In this video we're going to cover the manual installation of our software onto the computer, and I've set it up so that we're going to encounter a couple of problems along the way. Just in the event that you encounter similar problems, you'll know that you got the problem already solved. No big deal. And I use three different hosting companies, and it actually only one of them had this system issue. I want to call it an issue, that's being kind, this particular problem. So you may not even encounter this problem, but again, in the event that you do, well, you'll see when we get there. Between that and creating your own database, those are the only differences between the manual installation and the auto or the easy installation we did earlier with the Fantastico. So you might be wondering, well, why the heck would I want to mess with a manual installation? Well, in the event that, let's say, you do not have Fantastico or a cPanel style control panel, then manual installation is the only way to go. And in the event that you do have Fantastico, but the version of Drupal that they offer is not the version that you want, let's say that you want something that's of an older version, and Drupal on Fantastico is only a new version. Again, another reason why you would want to know how to manually install the software. First thing we want to do is head on over to the Drupal.org site, and it looks a bit like this. Pretty cool stuff. A lot of info here, so when you get a chance to actually come back here with a favorite beverage or so, come on and do some reading. Lots of reading. Anyway, or you can just watch this video and get it all done. And right here is the thing we're going to be looking for as far as the download. That's the latest version as of the recording of this video. Now then, whenever you go here, you could also just download it right here. And if you look at the status bar down here at the bottom, you'll see that it is a tar.gz file. And those are kind of difficult, if not impossible in my case, to unzip on your desktop. Not to worry, go ahead and download it to your desktop, and we will then, while it is still zipped, upload it to our server. So that's what we want to do first off, is go ahead and download that. I've already taken the liberty of doing so. So after having done that, it's on our desktop. I'm going to use the cPanel control panel file manager to upload it to my server. And if you do not have cPanel, maybe that's why you're doing the manual installation, well, use your FTP client, silly, and then just upload it to the folder that you want to have your site on. Now then, let's go to the public_HTML, and you then go on up here to upload files, browse to the file location on your desktop, click on upload, and then boom, it's uploaded. Hey, so is mine. And then all you do, once you get it uploaded, just click here, not here, but here, come over here to extract file contents, bam, no problemo, done. Then come on back here and refresh. Go on back into the public_HTML, and there we have it, folks. We want to rename this folder something that's keyword rich, if at all possible. That way, let's say you've got a site in mind on cars. Well, maybe you want to name this folder automobiles, or whatever you want to do, but you want to try to make it as keyword rich as you possibly can, if again it's possible. So again, click on that with the left mouse button, come over here to rename this folder, and just to let you know, I'm going to go ahead and try to, in this series of videos, try to create a site on real estate. And if you've been following the news at all here in the United States, real estate isn't the way to go right now, but I know a little bit about it, so it always helps. Anyway, so now that we've got this renamed, got it uploaded, got it renamed, now we have to install it. So let's click on this folder here, and this is the one that I'm looking for right here, the install.php. So we want to go to our browser and put in the file, the full path to this file. So let's go to a new browser, new tab, and you want to go to the main domain name, and in this case it is PM real estate 101. Hey, there it is. You'd think I'd done this before. And then once you get that typed in, whatever your main domain name is, the name of the folder, / the name of the folder you renamed that Drupal 6.2 to, and then / install.php. Then you hit your enter key or the green arrow in my case because I'm using Firefox browser. Then you come to this. Now this is one of the changes from a prior version 5.7 I believe in Drupal to the new version 6.2, and that is it provides you with an installation choice of the language. Most all of them are going to be defaulted to English, but if you want, you also now with the version 6.2 have the option of installing to a different language. We're going with English. Now then, this is one of the deals we got to deal with, one of the errors, we have to deal with, but not always. Actually, the other two hosts that I installed this on, this didn't come up, so I was rather surprised when this one did. Didn't know what I did wrong. But anyway, no problem. If you have this come up on yours, this is how we're going to fix it. We need to head on, just leave that right there for now. We need to go on back over to our cPanel. And again, if you don't have cPanel, you can do the same thing with your FTP. But what we want to do is, let me see, we're going to want to leave this here for now and go to our desktop, open up a text document. Okay, just a WordPad, Notepad text document, and we want to type this in. Pretty simple actually. REGISTER underscore globals equals capital O, little f. And that is it, folks. And this concludes our lesson on PHP today. Then we want to save this as, and if you use a notepad, one thing you got to make sure of down here in the Save As box, save as all files. Because we want to name this php.ini. And if you don't have this to all files, it will automatically toss in a .txt at the end, and that's not going to help us at all. So then just click on Save. And yeah, I've already done this, so I want to replace it. Sure, why not? Okay, so now then, don't lose this because we're going to come back to this in a minute because I've got another error coming up here. Now that we've got that saved on our desktop, we want to upload it to the folder that we have installed the Drupal 6.2. You don't want to install this on your root directory. You could, but that might screw other things up. So we'll just it works this way just fine. So go back to the root directory. Go back to the folder in which you installed Drupal 6.2. If you've left that area, by the way. Then we want to go to Upload Files. Browse your desktop for that PHP ini. And these are in alphabetical order, by the way. And this is it right here. And then upload. Come on down here and check. Yep, right there it is. Cool. And then come on back over to our PHP install site and refresh. And this should go away. Cool. That goes away, but this comes up. And some say that this is not an issue to worry about, and right now it probably isn't unless you have a whole lot of modules you're going to be installing on your new setup here, because this has to deal with system memory. And right now, as it says, you're currently using 8 megabytes in your PHP memory. I'm sorry, you're not using that, but that's what the limit is. And Drupal 6.2 requires minimum of 16 megs. Again, you can probably get by without this as being a problem, but I would say go ahead and fix it anyway. And this is how you do that. There's actually a couple of ways you can do that, but the only one I'm going to mess with is one that I've got it to work with. And if it ain't broke, why fix it? So I got it to work this way, so there's no reason for me to mess with it again. So let's get on back over to our if that made any sense, to the PHP ini file we just uploaded. And we can click on this, and that'll open it up. Actually, that'll bring this over here. We want to edit that because we want to add something to that. Just like it says here, we need to edit the memory limit parameter in the file that we just uploaded, the PHP ini. So that's what we're going to do. Right here, just below that, put in this. And you can just pause the video, type this in verbatim, or if you'd like to, I'm going to go ahead and save this, or if you'd like to, you can go to this page in our Drupal.org site, and right here is what I just typed in there. I'm sorry, I cheated, I copied and pasted, but you get the idea. Right there. And again, this is the address here that if you want to go here, either way, that's what you put in there. And come on back here, that's good to go. That was saved, so let's go back to our configuration, refresh this, and that should go bye-bye. Should. There we go. Cool. Okay, and that's it, folks. That's the two errors that you might encounter. More than likely you will not, but if you do, no problemo, you got it solved. Now we need to create a database and get the name of the database, the username of the database, and the password for that username. And for that, we're going to head on back over to, I'm going to close this guy out. Now we just need to head on back over to our cPanel control panel and find our MySQL, not MySQL, MySQL databases, and click on that. And we want to set up our database. As I can see here, this is the one that was set up during our easy or automatic installation. So we need to do something similar to this. So let's go to create a new database right here. Just type something in. How about RE101 for real estate 101. Create, that's done. Cool. And go back. Now I like to, whenever I'm creating databases, I like to have a text document open so I can copy and paste this stuff into it. Let me just move this out of the way here. So here's our database name. So I'll just copy and paste that into that text document like so. Yeah, I'll just move it off to the side here. Now we need to create a user. And I usually do the same thing for lack of imagination, RE101, and for the sake of the video. And the password, we're going with, well, what shall we use for password? How about PASSWORD? Lacking of imagination, I told you. And we're going to copy that. Create user. And that is it as far as the creating the name of the database, creating the user of the database. Here's the user. Let me copy this into my little file here. So now then, I've got the name. Okay, wait a second. Wait a second here. Right, copy. I've got the user, I've got the database name. I've got here. And then I've got the username, then I got the password. And of course, too, folks, do not use this setup here. Have a different name for your username, and by all means, don't use password as your password. Again, it's just for the sake of the video. Now then, what we need to do to finish this task up is to assign all abilities, if you will, to this user. So privileges, that's what I was looking for, and it's default check mark right here. So we're good to go. Nope, wrong one. User, this one, to this database. So that again is your username. It's being assigned all the privileges, these guys here, to this database name. And of course, if you are creating a user that has only certain amount of privileges, then you might want to alter this. But if you're setting this up as an admin, you are the administrator, then no, you want to have all the privileges. You want to have all the goodies on your site. And in this case here, localhost will be something else that will be needed. Actually, it's on there by default, but most of the times whenever you are creating or you're installing some software that's requiring some database info, then it's going to need to know the host address. And in this case, in 99% of other cases, it's going to be localhost. But I'll get to that here in just a sec. Okay, so now that we got this all set up, add user to database, and we're good. Okay, database is created. All is well with the world. Going back here, database name. Database username. And password in this case is a very unsecure password. And you come on down here, click on advanced options if you so desire. And this is where you can put in the database host. If, like for example, I used to have a host, actually I still do, I just don't use it that much, called 1&1. Really fantastic place to go to get the least expensive domain names on the internet. And they're a real good host too, just that they don't have cPanel as a control panel. And whenever you're setting up a database on their system, it is not going to be localhost. So just to let you know that not all of them are going to be localhost, but 99% of them will. Database port, table prefix, these are items, as it says here, are not necessary, but if you have these extras, then at least ways you've got the ability to use them. So now then, save and continue. I don't need to. And you can see installing, remaining 0 of 10. We're done. Now then, like with the auto install, this one for 6.2 creates the stuff for you for the most part. Nope, actually we're not quite finished yet. Auto install did all this for you already, but site email address, that is going to be, let's go with Steve at pmnu.com. And again, make sure this is a valid address too, folks. And username, now this being administrator account, more than likely you're going to want to use admin. More than likely. Then a password, again, use something that is, oh yeah, and this is something else that's new with 6.2. It gives you the strength warning down here, or as in the case as it is, the weakness warning. So what we want to do is make something that's, and it'll tell you all about it here. I'm going to use password as the password just to show you what it says. Low. The password does not include enough variation to be secure. Then it gives you options here. Isn't that cool? Okay, so password 1, 2, 3, 4. Medium. Okay, so still it's medium, but still, you know, it doesn't include enough variation to be secure. I mean, it's still okay, but this is going to be even better. Let's go with something a little more up their alley. And what I do is usually every time that I put in a password or create a password, I just write a bunch of arbitrary letters and numbers and a couple of characters on a piece of paper, and that's what I enter. And I cannot chew gum or walk at the same time, so let me enter this without talking so I know that I'm getting this right. Yeah, it still says it's medium. That's odd. Okay, let me try this then. And that. There we go. That did the trick. Okay. Now, of course, it doesn't have to be high to be functional. I mean, it's not like I'm trying to protect Fort Knox here or anything, as far as you know. Bear with me as I type with my one finger. And it also tells you if they match. Isn't that the coolest thing? And then you come on down here, there's a few more server settings that are, again, new. Because it's clean URLs, that was a module that you had to add to your earlier versions of Drupal, 5 point and earlier. And of course, if you want to have that enabled, it just makes it a little more search engine friendly. And what do we got here? 134. And actually it is, yeah, that's where I'm at. Check for updates automatically. Again, this was something else that was a module you needed to add that is no longer, it's part of the whole system. And with this option enabled, Drupal will notify you when new releases are available. And again, that's another reason why it's good to have a valid email address up here, because otherwise you're not going to get this notification. Security is highly recommended. This requires your site to be periodically sending anonymous information on its installed components to Drupal.org. Yeah, that's cool. For information, please see the update notification info. Cool. And I believe, folks, that should just about do it. That, and then we click here, it gives us our little name right up here. Click here to visit our new site. That's it. And this is where we ended up at on our easy install. Now, of course, the easy install video took all of about 3 minutes. This one, I think it's more like 5. And this one took 21 minutes. But we encountered a few bumps in the road here we needed to solve too. So hopefully this video taught you a lot and that you enjoyed it too. That's always a plus. And that you learned. So thank you very much for watching this video. And in the upcoming videos, we're going to do some configuring and going to add some content, all kinds of fun stuff. So stay tuned, folks. Thank you much for watching. Have a great day.